Hey guys, today we'll be looking at the hero Cyclops. We'll be doing things a little bit differently today. Today we'll be going through the skills first before we go into the gameplay for Cyclops.
Welcome to Mobile Legends!
Cyclops' first skill is pretty straightforward. It sends 2 beams straight ahead to deal magic damage to the enemy just like you see on the screen. Like all other skills, you should aim the skill so that you can hit the enemies properly. Cyclops' second skill is creating spears around him which will automatically attack enemies and it will increase his movement speed for 2 seconds. His ultimate is creating a giant spear that will chase the enemy and then deal damage to the enemy and immobilize him for 1 to 2 seconds based on the distance. So you can see from here, if I move further away, the spear travels a longer distance and the enemy is immobilized for a slightly longer duration. Cyclops' passive decreases his skill cooldown by 0.5 seconds every time it hits the enemy, which is the key to his domination in the late game. Cyclops is a mage that is best used in the mid lane but is versatile enough to play all the other roles within the game except for tank. His first and second skill allows him to clear lanes very fast, and his cooldown actually allows him to clear jungle monsters with quite a lot of ease. This is my build and emblem for Cyclops. As you can see from the builds, cooldown boots, enchanted talisman and concentrated energy are Cyclops' core items. They allow him to spam his skills, especially in late game. He might also be dealing with a little bit of mana problems because of how much he spams his skills, so you might want to consider that if you feel that you are spamming too much mana. Now without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. In the early game, I like to buy a magic necklace so that I don't run out of mana that fast and I can clear the wave faster. You might choose to up the first skill first or the second skill, doesn't really matter because I feel that both of them are rather good at clearing waves. I like to use the second skill because it allows me to poke the enemies a little bit better. As a mid laner, it's my job to compete for the Little Wanderer. Luckily my jungler was aware here and he came in to steal the Little Wanderer from the enemies. As a mid laner, you're supposed to roam and gank, but never forget that your mid lane is still yours to clear. Always go and poke the enemies, clear the lane, and try to take the tower as much as you can. In the early game when you don't have your core items that allow you to spam your skills, don't always go and join team fights. If needed, just back away and then continue to farm your lane and farm your items. I definitely overstayed my welcome here, fighting against 3 people with no mana, so I definitely died here, especially against a Selena that can stun me. For those who don't know, your ulti can also be used as an escape skill. Immobilize the enemy so that you can run away using a second skill. Here was my fault, I engaged too early. I didn't realize that the Zilong wasn't joining the fight and my Alucard still needed a while in order to arrive at the scene. As a mage, you should always roam and gank with your tank as much as possible. Here I saw that my bottom lane was fighting, so I moved in to try to gank together with them. One tip that I learned from playing this game is that the mage should always wait for the tank to engage. A mage is a little bit too squishy in order to initiate fights. One tip when fighting against marksmen like that, go into the grass so that they cannot auto-aim their basic attacks. Like I said earlier, Cyclops clears the jungle monsters with quite a lot of ease, so if you can, try to invade the enemy jungle as much as you can. This fight shows the importance of positioning for Cyclops because his range is slightly smaller than other mages. You need to put yourself in the right place at the right time. Don't put yourself in positions where you can get bursted or stunned by enemies. When Cyclops is at low health, he doesn't necessarily always need to go back to heal because of the fact that his spell Vamp is extremely strong. So go back and then use your skills on creeps or use your skills on minions so that you can gain some health back. Cyclops with blue buff is extremely powerful, so even if you're not a hyper, do try to steal the enemy's blue buff as well. In this case, I didn't manage to get it because the hyper was a little bit selfish, but Cyclops with blue buff means that he can spam his skills so much better. You can use Cyclops' first and second skill to phase check bushes, but in this case it was a Selena trap, so there's not much I could do about it. Here I wanted to go back, but I saw that my tank was engaging in a fight with the enemy and I decided that I wanted to save him. But I put myself in the worst position between these two walls over here that allowed me no escape from the enemies when they stunned me. I think when you're trying to defend Lord, it depends on where the position of the Lord is. If the Lord is far away enough from your base or from your tower, then try to engage the enemies before trying to defend the Lord instead, because the enemies do not need to focus on the Lord, they just need to kill you. And if you allow them to kill you, basically there will be no one left to defend the Lord. Here you can see that I'm spamming my ultimate so that it will lock on to anybody that comes within my range so that I can immediately immobilize them, because this is the best chance for us to push the tower and take the tower down. In this game we are fighting against a Jawhead, and Jawheads love to invade. In this case, you can see that the tank was moving over to the side so that it could stop the invading Jawhead. I didn't immediately join because I wanted to get my second skill after clearing the wave so that I could be more potent in a team fight. You can see here that I immediately became a little bit more dangerous for my second skill, forcing the Jawhead to flicker away. Sometimes you need to know where's the right time to engage. I knew that the Jawhead had just previously used his flicker, so it wasn't available for a while more. So that's why I went in for the kill. Against this Kaja, he still had no ultimate, so I wasn't terribly afraid of him. Unfortunately, I didn't count on the Veil to come up and try to save his teammates. This Irithel was really low leveled because she had taken Retribution and then went to the lane to farm. So this is what happens when you do that. Your level and your goal is extremely reduced. So don't ever put yourself in a position where there's 2 Retribution users within the team. In this case over here, I told my teammate that my ultimate was ready, so actually he should have waited for me to engage before going in for the kill. Because he didn't, the Kaja managed to escape and wasn't immobilized by my ultimate instead. This is where I thought that using Purify for this match would have been a better choice because of the number of CC that the enemy team has. Here is where Cyclops' second skill is very useful against a Hellcut. If you use your second skill before he silences you, your skills will still damage him when it comes close to you. This upcoming fight sequence will show you how potent the blue buff is to allow you to spam your skills continuously. This game really proved that Purify was very important and I should have taken this spell instead. I kept getting ganked by this jaw hit with 2 in the air after ult. And that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you do, and leave a comment on what other heroes you would like to see me play.